and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. If this is something you end up enjoying, you never know, it could happen. We've got our top shelf news for the week. This is the best in science fiction, fantasy, sometimes horror, mostly as it relates to books, but also media. Not any media this time though. So anyway, mostly as it relates to books, really fits here. Anyway, let's jump into it. First things first, I've got to do my yearly Goodreads Choice rant. Yes, the Goodreads Choice Awards are up. Yes, they are the awards for the year of 2024, the best books of 2024. And the opening round is November 12th through the 24th. Yes, that is discluding or not including at least a 12th of the year, the month of December, and even more. So almost a sixth of the year, almost 2 months that you're not even including books for, that there are releases for. Notably, a certain book everybody's excited for, which is Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. And which, funny enough, will probably end up winning because this is how the Goodreads Choice Awards works. And it's kind of a joke. So anyway, I had to do my yearly, I don't even know why you call a best books of this year, insert year, and you start it before the year's actually done. Maybe, again, I've got a chip on my shoulder, I get it. I do have a December birthday. I believe all birthdays matter. And but all books matter in the year when you say it's the year of the best books that come out. Anyway, and I know there's exceptions. There's, hey, then the books in December can count for next year, blah, blah, blah. It's so stupid, though. Anyway, I just find it silly, and I usually boycott the Goodreads Choice Awards, but I did want to let you know that they are happening, and nobody ever boycotts it other than me. So anyway, I do feel like they used to start in October, and that was even more of a joke. So they've at least somewhat, I think, listened to some of the criticism. But anyway, let's move on. I digress here. All right, this was just announced. Broken Binding is really trying to take all of my money, apparently. It's really, really difficult not to, especially when Patrick Leo is involved as the art director. So Blood Over Brighthaven, M.L. Wong, author of one of my favorite books, The Sword of Kaigen. Just an excellent book. It's going to be Blood Over Brighthaven, which I have this book, this nice little sprayed edge book I found, and I love it. But, I mean, if you look at this, it's amazing. The art is by Danlin Chang. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Just wonderful. I love it. And again, it's Patrick Leo kills it with the art direction. Anyway, Broken Binding yet again, trying to take my money. I already have I realized I was counting it up. I've got 12 special edition books on the way in the next year or so, depending on the Kickstarters and whatnot, backer kits, which I'll be doing. I'm just oh my gosh, I've gotten a little crazy here. And that's not counting the ones that I already have, which are a number. So the shelf is going to be looking better and better here. All right, then Stephen King has got a new book, Never Flinch. First of all, I think that's a great title. I think the cover is awesome. I think they're doing a great job. I love these new kind of retro-y covers that have come out lately. You know, they can always just publish more Stephen King books. They seem to make a lot of money doing that, and just with new covers every couple years or so, and it's again working. But anyway, I like this. This is cool. So it is apparently two kind of bisecting essentially storylines: a killer and a vigilante, and it involves Holly Gibney. There's a book called Holly. There's a whole series. I believe it's the the Mercedes series that I have not read. So I have not read any of the Holly related books, but Stephen King seems to like her a lot, and definitely makes me curious because I have not read any of these, and I think I better. And we've got a 30th anniversary version. It's the 30th anniversary of Foreigner by C.J. Cherryh. This is one of those where I guess I'm used to special editions, 30th year, whatever, X year. Special edition being an actual special, the new cover, new whatever, or maybe a worse cover. Some might say The Eye of the World, and which is just isolated one of the pictures. I like it, but there's been criticism I've seen. Anyway, some kind of change other than I was looking at it and it literally is just like a banner that says 30th anniversary version because it's the same cover. I even looked, if you could go onto Goodreads, at least at the moment that I looked, it has the 10th anniversary cover, and it's again just a little ribbon that says 10th anniversary. So anyway, it's just funny to me. I guess I'm just used to different things. I guess, hey, it's exciting. That is a series. That's an author, frankly, that I need to read. Down Below Station, I think, is one of those I've had on my list / in my somewhere in my bookshelf, and I need to read some Cherry there. And we got A Drop of Corruption. This is a sequel to The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. Robert Jackson Bennett is a favorite author of mine. These are just a couple of the books that I have physically from Robert Jackson Bennett. I definitely need to read more of his books and catch up, because that's what I do with my favorite authors. I start saving them for that perfect time when life will just slow down a little bit for me to really enjoy a book that I love. And then somehow life never does that. And then I finally realize, hey, maybe you should just read your favorite authors while you can, okay? So anyway, that's one of those. And another cover, we got Gatebound by Daniel T. Jackson. I mentioned that this was the third book in the Illborn saga not too long ago that it was announced, but now we've got an actual cover. Art by Christian Bentlin, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I like it. It does have another... I've been known for lately criticizing covers that just have a character standing there. But if you're standing there with a sword, it's better than just standing there looking into the distance or at the artist. Anyway, there's some standing. There's like this is an exciting series. Why did you pick for your cover the part where they're just standing there? All right, I thought this was interesting. I found this on Locust magazine. I'll put the link down below for the article. But apparently Christie's of London, I believe it's of London, has the first sale dedicated to science fiction and fantasy. You've got essentially the Dune Bible, which may sell for anywhere from 250,000 to 350,000 pounds. First edition Harry Potter for anywhere from 80,000 to 120,000 pounds. Hobbit first edition, which I'm a little offended by. It says 8,000 to 12,000. I'm like, really? Hobbit isn't going to be better off than Harry Potter? Anyway. But apparently that first edition Harry Potter only had like 500 run or something like that. But it's kind of cool. It's interesting. I mostly just kind of want to see what things are going for. That'd be interesting to have the money to be able to, I mean, because the thing is, if you have the money to get that means you have the money to have like a case or something, I would assume, or some kind of room that would be dedicated to your fun hobby of collecting very expensive books like this. I was just at a museum and they had like, the special books that you can't touch and everything like specially lit up and so that the light doesn't harm it or whatever. Anyway, that's just what I assume, is that you go to extra crazy levels to protect your very expensive book, I would assume, especially if you're paying the amount that you could pay for a house for one of these books. So especially that Dune Bible. All right, then finally is our last bit of news. No media news, as I mentioned. This was one that I just saw from Daniel Green. I thought it was interesting that I needed to note. HarperCollins is asking its authors permission to use their books to essentially submit to an AI company to help the AI algorithm, right? They need just tons and tons and tons of data, and apparently to train the AI, right? They're paying the authors for it. I am torn on this. One, I'm going, I feel like at least this is an AI company that's trying to like get some permissions and not just steal anything that's out there. So there's one level of like, okay, at least there's that. And at least HarperCollins is asking for the permissions. So like, I mean, we've got a couple people that are like, okay, at least we're doing things like, because it does feel like, but I just hate the argument of, you know, people are going to pirate those movies anyway, or people are going to pirate a book anyway, so might as well just do it and get ahead of it. It just feels dirty. Okay, I don't like it. I don't love this idea of AI just applied to art, especially the thing that I love so much, which is reading. I struggle with it. I don't want it to be a thing that people just slap out, because it's already hard enough to sift through a lot of nonsense that's out there. That's why I think it's so valuable to have, as much as you can criticize Goodreads, it's so valuable to have a Goodreads to be able to look through and get reviews. I look through all the time when I'm looking up books. It's so valuable to have booktube or just review blogs or anything like that. It's so important to have these things, but I'm like, it's just, when you can just literally, like I mentioned not too long ago, somebody made The Way of Kings and just substituted just some slight substitutions for some of the names, which are pretty funny. And they just slapped that together. They clearly slapped it together because they couldn't even get their author name right, or like to match the cover inside the book. It just clearly slapped together. And if you can just slap something together, that's like the new mode of these money-making nonsense gurus that will just go, hey, just slap this together with AI. Amazon will then, you know, bind it for you or whatever. You can suddenly sell this book on Amazon, and people aren't looking to like read through it and make sure it's good. They're looking for the money. And so the faster they can just slap this crap together and just throw it onto Amazon, the better for them, because then they can be working on the next nonsense and slapping that up onto Amazon. So I struggle. I know that's where things are headed. I can applaud the fact that it's at least attempting to be done in the right way, when I would prefer it just not be done, which doesn't seem like any kind of way that's going to happen. But I would prefer more of a anti-AI stance. That's really the best for me. I would prefer that. But I can't have everything I want, I guess. But that is my biggest problem, is that's like the money-making scheme. Like, that is it. And it's already like, I want to find good books to read. I don't want to waste my time with garbage, especially with somebody that is just trying to slap some junk up. I want the people that are actually trying to make fun books, and they give everybody a bad name by, you know, slapping this nonsense up. And we have authors that are just struggling anyway, and it's using, again, the same reason YouTubers will put some clickbait up, like, which I've never done, and get people to watch. It's the same thing, you know. They call it The Way of Kings. You can call it that, right? That's what they did. They called this book The Way of Kings. They just slightly changed some things. Luckily, Amazon caught it, or somebody caught it and told Amazon. However, that went down, and it was pulled off Amazon, for instance. But I'm still going, you know, you could just have things close enough, like just a little close enough to make people, like, at least just that don't know everything or haven't looked into it, that just now have wasted their money, wasted their time, whatever it may be. Or even if it were good, it's still a complete plagiarized ripoff. And so it's just like, there's copyright for a reason, right? And anyway, so it is such a frustrating landscape. But anyway, on that just terrible rant note that I just kept going on and on about, thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget, there are Kindle links down below in the description, and it does help the channel. So thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.